At least 18 people have died. At least 50,000 migrants poured across the Moroccan border into the Spanish territory of Ceuta in just 24 hours. Look at these scenes. It's forcing Spain to deploy its military to the border just months after Spain's socialist government launched a mass amnesty program for illegal migrants. Our next guest warns this is what America could face if Biden-era progressives return to power. Remember, the DSA says no borders. Former Margaret Thatcher advisor Nile Gardiner joins us now. Nile, your thoughts as you see the swarms go over the wall, go through the so-called turnstile and into Spain.
Good morning, Brian. This is an absolute disaster for Europe, and it's the direct result of open borders, socialist, crazy policies, frankly, including a mass amnesty for illegal immigrants in Spain. And this is the result. At least 50,000 illegal migrants crossed into Spanish territory yesterday. Many more will cross in today. Some estimates indicate that the official figure is far too low. There could be perhaps 80 to 100,000 migrants who've crossed into Spanish territory. And this is a vision of America's future if the socialists, the communists take power in the United States in 2029. Because this is exactly what they're going to do, offer an amnesty, have an open border, and you'll see the invasion of the United States. So what is happening in Europe right now is a vision of America's future if the crazy communists, socialists, the far left seize power in the United States. So this is a nightmare scenario, actually, not only for Europe, but also for America as well, if we see these scenes unfolding a few years from now.
So, the thing is, this isn't random. This is Spanish Supreme Court ruled that limited the immediate return of migrants intercepted after reaching Ceuta by sea. And then they had a 2025 program that told undocumented migrants who did not commit crimes, basically, you can stay. So if you're in Morocco living in squalor, you go, this is my chance. I'm going. I'm out of here. The White House says this. Yes. President Trump has long warned that Europe that would happen if they continue to implement far-left globalist policies, including enabling mass migration. Spain and other countries who have adopted this destructive philosophy should immediately reverse course or risk their own demise. He is right, and he was right in 2016 when he said it and when he ran, wasn't he?
Yeah, President Trump is absolutely right about what's happening in Europe today. We're seeing, frankly, the future of Western civilization under threat right now as a result of mass migration, as a result of open borders policies. And this is what happens, of course, when the left take power. And what we're seeing right now in North Africa, in Europe, is what would have happened to the United States if Kamala Harris had become president, actually. There's no doubt about it, actually. And we are seeing really, literally in real time, the end of Western civilization as a result of socialist policies. And once all these migrants are into Spanish territory, many more, of course, will come in. They will then eventually have the freedom to move across the entire European Union. And this is a disaster not only for Spain, but also a real tragedy, I think, for the whole of Europe. And you can be sure that if 50,000 migrants came into Spanish territory in one day yesterday, hundreds of thousands more will seek to get in the next few days. Millions will seek to get in the coming weeks and months. And this is a disaster on epic scale, actually, for Europe. Fortunately, here in the United States, we have a president who defends America's borders, protects the American people. But in Europe, you have absolutely the opposite. But as I mentioned earlier, this is without a doubt, it's a huge warning to the United States. If you put socialists in power, they will literally destroy America. They will destroy the United States. They'll open the borders, and we will see these kinds of disastrous scenes unfolding here in America if the American people allow the socialists to take power.
Think about this. They become voters. Those voters from Morocco or whatever do not want the U.S., for example, using their own bases. Well, I can't let them use their bases because I'm going to lose votes or lose power. So they adhere to their new minority. Just what you're talking about, the DSA agenda, amnesty for all migrants, abolish ICE enforcement to fund the Department of War. That's what happens. This is a great example of what's at stake. Niles, thanks so much. Hopefully Europe will wake up.
My pleasure.
Italy's
Thanks very
panicking
much,
about what
Brian.
they're seeing. You got it. Meanwhile,
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.